Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Yes, it is Thursday on the Fanatical Elfz Network. You know it. We're here. We're a bunch of wild and crazy Browns fans. Thank you so much for being here, tuning in. We have a great group here tonight. We're on the road. We're in undisclosed locations around the globe. I want to invite or welcome. We got Lou, we got Steve, we got Noah, and we got Sam tonight. And who knows, we might get some more folks on. I'm John. Let's start with Noah because Noah is on the road. Noah, you're on the road. Drive safely. I hope you're saying, don't look at us. Concentrate on the road.
I'm not looking down, I promise. It's been too long since I've been on the show, and I miss talking with you guys. And then, John, you got me riled up, so it was time to go,
Damn. Uh-oh. Did we lose him already?
Oh,
there. He's back.
John, you got me riled up, so I had to get on and, talk with you for a little bit,
See, my game is to get you guys wound up. I don't believe half the crap that I say, but it's fun.
Neither do I.
That's why you guys have a show together, right?
Well, stirring the pot there with Lou, but no, Steve and I actually don't have a show yet.
Oh, maybe I thought that was Lou talking. My bad.
No, yeah, that's right. Concentrate on the road. Don't look at it.
I'm good. I promise I'm good.
But Noah, you're traveling. You doing all right? You're doing good?
All good. No complaints over here.
All right. Very good. Sam, how's the weather in Texas?
Fine. It's actually going to get really nice. It's going to be below 96 for the next week, which is
it was like shocking. 78 today here. So
it's not going to. It's going to say it's 96. It's not going to feel like 96. If you check the heat index, I think it says it feels like 111 outside right now.
Woo,
it's probably even hotter in the sun. So it's a little warm. It's not that much.
It's not a dry heat there in Texas where you're at.
No, it's more of a wet heat. We get the wet heat. Could be worse. We could be living in Houston. Houston's awful.
Yes.
There's nothing about Houston that's good. You can't tell me anything.
I was in Houston a year ago. I really enjoyed. Actually, it wasn't a year. It was 2 years ago. I enjoyed my trip, but I was there in late September. So
Houston's nice unless you live there. Then it's awful.
Yeah. I wrestled in Houston and San Antonio. So.
Yeah.
San Antonio is way superior, but it's just hot and dry. We haven't had rain in a month.
Steve, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm in the wilds of north central Pennsylvania. Last night it got down to 40-something degrees. The high today was 71. Beautiful day. Now it's like 52 degrees going down into the 50s.
Woo.
I love it. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Good sleeping.
Pennsylvania. At my family's cottage.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice,
How long are you there?
We're here till next Thursday. Going to visit some family.
Look who
look
just
at
joined
some
us.
Wildlife. Oh, there's Jarrell.
There's
Long time no talk.
All here, man.
All I got to do is I got to say one thing. Noah, 10-2, brother, 10-2.
One hand on the wheel. That's all I need.
Lou.
Yes.
How are you tonight, my stirring pot colleague?
I'm good. Yeah, you got a new show on Wednesday afternoons with Corey Castle called the Stewcast. Strictly Pro Wrestling podcast on the Combat Zone Network with Fans First Sports Network. So I'm happy with that opportunity. Doing the show Saturday night. Let you guys know with Sherry because we usually do Friday nights, but we're going to do a Saturday night pregame at 9. If you guys want to stick around and watch some of the game, we're not going to have the game on here because we'll get in trouble for doing that. But
Lou, let's not do that. But I think many of us want to join you. I think we're going to do. I'm telling the other people that are watching us right now on YouTube or on Facebook,
Yeah,
or
we'll be
if you
on.
listen to us later on Spotify or on Apple,
Yeah.
we're all going to do this pregame show next with Lou. I think we'll join your show. That'll be our pregame show. And if some of us are still awake at 2:00 in the morning, we will try to do a postgame.
Yeah, we'll try
So,
I probably
I
won't.
won't.
I won't be
I
awake.
won't.
I'll be out.
oh,
Give me
you
a
wimp!
break.
I'm the only
Um,
one. I might be able to if I'm a silly
I'm
guy,
old.
but I'm,
Yeah,
I'm going
okay.
to bed. I'm not doing 2 a.m.
No, yeah. To
I'll
watch
probably
four
watch
stringers
the whole
play.
thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, Noah,
Um,
you the man.
Dedicated. I'm dedicated.
Noah, if I put you on mute, it's just because you got a lot of background sounds. But if you want to speak, make sure that you unmute yourself. If I
We
ever do that,
understand.
just wanted you to know that. So, Jarrell, welcome. Jarrell, before you, I wanted to just tell you, I said a lot of that stuff in the text messages just to piss you guys off. So,
Oh, okay. You did the job.
Didn't
You
work
did the
on
job.
me.
Yeah.
That part,
Yeah.
Jarrell. That part.
I rolled my eyes. I'm just like, whatever, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm too
that-
busy.
Yeah, I know. It's John.
I'm way too busy. I'm way too busy to deal with that.
Jarrell, how are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. Aside from that clip getting my blood boiling,
Oh,
I'm
with
doing well.
Jason Lloyd, the Jason
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Yes.
Yeah, that really pissed me off because he started his montage by saying, "Well, I haven't been out there." Well, what are you talking about it for then? You haven't been out there. I don't care who you talk to or what they said. If you wasn't there, how can you say that it's weird or what the throws look like? Because I've heard different things. I've heard the throws look good. I've seen some of the videos where he's made good throws. So it's just stupid.
So let's talk about that because we're all here because we're a little peeved, a little wound up. I don't know why, but
I'm not mad.
You
'Cause
explained
I
why,
know you,
Jarrell, just
John.
now, and I agree. And I said to you guys too, Jason Lloyd is somebody that I've critiqued a lot over the years because I don't find a lot of what he says to be much. But at the same time, I guess the only argument I have against what you guys some of you are gonna argue here in a moment, is that and I kind of said this in the texting, and I know Noah, you wound up too, that I just feel like and I keep saying this and until I'm stand corrected, like ever since he's come to this team, Watson, we've lost some fans, and that's fine. Fans don't have to follow the team, and I'm following the team because I love the Browns. I know, Lou. But there's just I think it's just because of this, we have the local media, like you mentioned, Jarrell, before, that has this sort of, and maybe just that we want to be bad. I don't want to be bad. I know it comes across that way.
Yes, it does.
It does come across that way. No, I got you. I think it's just, we've seen him play in 12 games. I think everybody wants him to be out there on the field, and we know that with him on the field, that this team will be more successful. But will he be on the field? And I guess that's still where I'm not convinced yet, even though we haven't even started the season. So yes, I am being negative, and I'm not apologizing for it. I just, it is something.
You're conditioned to be negative. I think
I'm conditioned.
And
you've talked about it too.
Psychoanalysis.
Yeah, no, and you've talked about it too because you're right, Lou. I mean, you guys some of you you're spot on. I think it's just this thing, and Lou, you've gotten angry about it in the past where I think it's
never.
No, never. It's just this thing with Browns fans that we bring this to ourselves, and gosh darn it, that's part of our problem.
It's like that in every city. It's like that in every market, in every city. I've been to other places. I've listened to the sports call-in shows. It's hilarious. I remember my first year in North Carolina. That was the year they drafted Cam Newton. People were calling up the local sports call-in radio shows, complaining about it. Like, whoa, we have Jimmy Clausen. Why do we need him?
Yeah,
it's just like, I'm like, really? I mean, Cam Newton took him to a Super Bowl, but he had that rotator cuff injury that screwed him up. But anyway, beyond the point. As far as I know, Deshaun Watson practiced today. Everybody's leaving.
I'm sorry. I was trying to.
Am I clear in the room? Am I clear in the room? Is that what
I was trying? I think is that
John,
we're a little bit bigger. Now we're a little bit bigger. People can see it.
You give me some. Yeah, he's trying to make it bigger. Well, no, as far as I know, Deshaun Watson practiced today. Now, I think he might not play Saturday night because they're more concerned about Jermaine Ifedi being his left tackle than anything else than him, which makes sense. That makes sense to me. But otherwise, I'm not too concerned about him. I think he'll be fine for Dallas. Actually, Dallas has a lot more screwed up things than we do, and Sam can tell you that. Sam can speak to that. That's just things I'm hearing about. Like, is CD Lamb even going to play? So
Okay,
that's a lot. But like everybody gets in a tizzy over something. Remember all that Brandon Ayuk crap, and now here we are. So we're talking about something else. It's
exactly.
Or
it's like
Jarrell, do you want to add any more to what? I mean, because I know what I've, it pissed you guys off when I said to you about Jason Lloyd, and I mean that's kind of the, you see that in social media, and I don't know, I'm just probably speaking on, I'm acting like what a lot of Browns fans are like, and I know, and it's just going to change. It has, the only way it changes, right, is if we win, right?
You mean like last year?
What's that? Well, like last year. What was that? What did he say?
Like,
You mean we win like last year?
With defense?
I mean,
you talked about that too,
right?
You said how the Browns defense. I mean, that's yeah.
The expectations are being put too much on Deshaun Watson, because look at Lamar Jackson. He hadn't done. What has he done? To be honest, he's won some MVPs. We'll give him respect for that. But what is that really translated to with a top tier defense? He's always had a top tier defense, based on my understanding. So when you talk about the Browns defense being top 5, they had great field goal kicking last year. It's really going to come down to complementary football. So if I'll say 25% of the season, obviously 100% of it is his health. But if he's on the field, 25% of it, I think, is going to fall on him. It's going to come into the play calling. It's going to come into execution, guys catching the passes, guys getting separation. So it's all of this stuff about, well, we don't know if he's the same player. I saw enough in the Baltimore game because they were down by 14. That's a game they would traditionally lose on the road.
Yep.
So that's everything I needed to see. And that's going to be that type of game. That's going to be the hardest. That's the type of game you want to see them in. So when you play the Chiefs, when you play the Ravens, when you play, I don't know who else is in the AFC, the Bills or whoever, if you're down, you want to be able to have the defense hold serve and have the quarterback have the poise to make the right plays. And I think he can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Sam, you got anything to add? I know you look like you want to say something.
Not really. Everything seems, I think Watson has pressure. I think every quarterback has pressure, especially quarterbacks who have had previous success but then lost it, and then they're still trying to get back to it. And especially someone critiqued like him, because he got a lot. Popularity is the wrong word, but I guess fame from all the stuff he had to go through for the first when he was out of the NFL. And which put a whole bunch of spectators on him, which are all, most of them at least, don't really like him very much. And so I think there's a lot of people who just don't like Watson and don't really want to see him be good. But I don't think I think he just needs to go out there and play and be careful and just watch his shoulder and watch his arm and stuff.
Sam, well said. I just love how you put for a young man, you put everything in a really good spot. I listen to you every time, and it's like, dude, you speak like, I mean, we all speak very well, but Sam, you for your youth, I always appreciate your perspective on sports. So,
well, he's here for a reason, right?
He's here for a reason. He's a young rising superstar. And we can all say that we knew Sam at one point. Anybody else want to add to this whole conflict?
Well, I can read from this post real quick. Deshaun Watson took full complement of reps in practice. No decision yet if he will play Saturday versus Seahawks. That's according to BrownsNation.com. Go right ahead. Sorry, go ahead. You were about to speak, Noah.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump on, and you pointed out the same.
No, you're not allowed. No, Noah.
What did you say?
I just did that to piss you off. Okay, bye.
Fair enough. No, fair enough. So for me, like, I think we've reached a point as a fan base where we're like over analyzing if the guy sits out one day with some heart and soreness. You know, he is technically our franchise quarterback, and you know, your franchise players sit out of practice sometimes. You've seen it happen with Myles Garrett. You've seen it happen with Nick Chubb. They'll take a rest day. Up until that practice,
David Njoku,
he was practicing full blown every practice, no matter what. So I think we as a fan base like to do this thing where we overreact to the million with Deshaun because of what happened last year and years before.
Yeah,
I agree. Noah. Did we? Oh, he turned his.
You turned. Yeah, you muted.
Oh, I'm just trying to not be as much of a interruption as I can. You know what I mean? I want to get my takes in here and talk to you guys. But
no, I totally agree. All of you guys are making. I mean, I think you're spot on, and you know, I just like to play the role of pissing everybody off. So
you do it well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very well.
All right. Let's talk about another subject that's
wait. Let me get in on this.
Oh,
I know you lost me briefly.
No, Steady Eddie.
First of all, you didn't make me man. I've known you for about a year and a half, John. So I was expecting
all my best moves.
When I read general arm soreness, I wasn't concerned because he's been throwing every day.
Yes.
I'm 66 years old and I get up with general everything soreness every day of my life.
Yes.
So, you know,
right.
Look, I am right now. I agree with Lou. I am team do not play him Saturday night because of the left tackle. And that's the only reason not to play him. I am way concerned, but I know that both Wills and Conklin, I'm hearing, are going to be ready for the Cowboys. So
I heard that they're going to go to practice Monday. They're coming off the pup Monday. I heard the same thing.
That's what I heard. So I feel good about that.
To add to what you said, I heard Conklin was also taking reps as a left tackle. He played that at Michigan State.
Yeah, he did.
I heard that as well.
Early in his career, he did. So I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I'm more worried about Deshaun Watson's health Saturday night. That's what I'm worried about.
But here's my I'm agreeing with you.
John wants everybody to be like Patrick Mahomes and play every minute of every game in existence. But better price of valor.
Yeah, John wants the quarterback to play for both teams.
Thank you, Samuel.
All-time QB, like it's
hey, Darrell, what's your shirt say? I'm trying to figure out what's on your shirt today. What is that on your?
It says land defense. Land defense.
Oh, I love it. See how I deflected everything there?
Oh my gosh, he's got the elf and everything. I love it.
The elf in the state of Ohio outlined, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I love it.
This will be ready week 1 on the site. So just a
Darrell is pumping out amazing apparel, dude. Like his hat, the shirt. By the way, also on our apparel site on the X, Noah got our Stirring the Pot material on there, Lou, now. So if people want to go out and buy some Stirring the Pot t-shirts.
My face on a t-shirt. That's great. Where did he go?
Oh, we lost Noah.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
We'll get him. Oh, there we go. We got him.
I'm back. I'm here. I promise. Yes, we do have new.
Are you still on 77 right now? Okay, that's good. Okay, let's talk about Mike Hall because I want to apologize because I'm one of those fans that overreacted. And I know every one of you, especially Jarrell and Steve the other night, basically told me, and then Lou, we were like talking the other night on Monday. But, I was saying how let's look at the police reports as this, and you guys reminded me it's just a police report. And now, since then, the girlfriend / fiance has
baby mama
retracted everything. Plus, now I had heard this information before, the storyline too about how she hit him over the head with a bottle at the Columbus airport. That came out because I was down here in Columbus, so I had known about that story somehow. I remembered when
this is the first I heard of that.
Yeah, because that was something that came out because I don't think as I recall, because he was being drafted and he lived here and he played for Ohio State. So I thought that was a story. I might be completely off. Anyway, the fact is that I'm like a lot of fans that just totally like thought, okay, well, why is he playing? Like Lou, you said when you were there at the game, you're like, oh look, Michael Hall's out there, and we were all
third play of the game. I was like, he's out there, he's playing.
Yeah, so
most people didn't notice it. Yeah,
the Browns have more information, obviously, because we don't.
They let them practice. People were flipping out. What's going on? Because they.
So what do you think? So let's just go around. I mean, what do you guys all think about the next things, and will we see Michael Hall this season? Anybody can join in.
Well, like I told you earlier, John, there might be things in the CBA concerning preseason that they can't really keep him out. So we'll wait. I'm going to wait and see what they're going to do prior to the season. I don't, now that this process has turned the way it has, I really don't think the NFL is going to do anything about it. And I really don't think the Browns are either. They're going to let the whole thing, the court case, and it's going to be delayed. Let's face facts. It's going to be delayed.
Yes.
So I don't think there's an impact at all towards him on the roster.
Okay. Anybody else want to talk about that? You agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to have a spot. I think he's going to get his playing time. I think it's not going to affect him this year. I would just say this as advice to the younger man that's on this panel: when you pick a wife or a girl that you're going to spend your time with and invest your time in, choose wisely. And I'm just saying,
on social media, I see all the bad. I know exactly what to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, look at red flags and notice the red flags.
Samuel, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. Just because she touched your wiener and it feels good doesn't mean she's right for you. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. It's true. It doesn't mean shit, man. I'm just being. Being young and stupid. I mean, you look past the crazy for a while, and then eventually you're like, what was I thinking? So,
and believe me, Samuel, I've been young and stupid.
I think we all have.
So let's go to a quick break with that.
On that note,
then,
yes.
Yeah. Let's do a quick break here. We're the Fanatical Elfz. We really appreciate everybody following us. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about what's going to go on with the left tackle position. We've already kind of talked about it, but we'll be right back. Okay, we're back.
Hell of
here
a
on the Fanatical Elfz.
Whoa.
Left
I think that sausage commercial was a little bit of a bad segue, but we'll move on.
You guys talked about
Oscar Mayer.
Jack Conklin playing the left tackle position, practicing there, and had played there at Michigan State. So what are we doing there? And like, again, Steve, you said that Wills looks like he'll be coming back. So let's just, I don't know what the hell's going on with the left tackle position.
You and I talked about this before, and I wrote in my blog about it. There's something weird about this Jedrick Wills and Brown's situation. I mean, he gets hurt during the Cardinal game.
Yeah.
He gets put on IR, designated to return. Then a little over a month later, all of a sudden they announce he has surgery and he's out for the season.
Yeah.
I mean, over a month.
Yeah.
And that was in December 12th.
Yeah.
So now here we are, August 22nd, and he still is not ready to play. It just, something is not right.
Yes.
It's like Lou said earlier, it's like these Brandon Ayuk trade rumors that came out. It just something doesn't seem right. And I can't put my finger on it.
Now, Steve, when you say that,
and then you hear that Conklin is practicing a left tackle. What?
He's being a swing between. He's going to be the swing tackle between DeJuan Jones and.
What is going on? I mean, just something is strange is going on with this situation, and I can't put my finger on it.
I also heard this too. Keep in mind when guys weigh 300 pounds and they have knee injuries, they tend to linger more because that's a lot of body weight to support on a knee, and it depends on the nature of the injury. There could be things that we don't know about. I'm just being
Didn't DeJuan Jones have a knee injury at 374 and 6'8"?
Yes.
I mean, and he's already back.
When did he hurt his knee? Didn't he hurt his knee? And that was around the same time as Will's, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's around the same time.
Does Frederick Wills, I mean, I'm not going off another tangent here, but has there ever been reports of him having any kind of other issues off the field, or like when we start talking about like medically?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
Like that's all.
Not that I'm aware of.
But I'm just saying that, obviously I agree. I think most of us here probably find it a little bit suspicious. And I know people have been talking about it more in the Cleveland media, what's going on, because typically something like this you should be coming back 5 or 6 months. And now we're in week 8 or month 8 or 9. Right.
Right.
Okay.
It's just strange. There's a disconnect there.
Jarrell,
that
what
I
do you
can't put
think?
my finger on.
Yeah.
I can't really speak to the health or what, like Lou said. I mean, he's a big man, he's a heavy man, and everybody heals differently. But as it pertains to should starters play if your offensive line is shaky, no, if they, don't put nobody out there to get killed now. The season is too important. But I will say that didn't they have offensive line issues last season? And they still was able to, with no Chubb as well and no Watson towards the end of the season. So, I mean, this coaching staff is able to find, and that's a great segue into the ultimate point I'm trying to make. Mike Vrabel did the same thing with the Titans. He had a litany of injuries, and they were still able to somewhat salvage the season. That's where your depth comes in, because even with the Chiefs have had to dip into their depth from time to time in order to win games. So, if Wills isn't ready, just wait till he's ready. Because, same thing with Chubb. I think health is tantamount this season. So hopefully you can, get depth.
Have we heard anything more this week about Nick Chubb?
Nope. He's been out there. He's been practicing.
He was a bunch of the players before practice went down to Lake Erie and ran on the beach, and he was one of them. So.
No, was that? I think that was fake. Did you?
No, that wasn't fake.
Well, are you sure? What video? Are you talking about the video that's circulating?
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson or something saying that it's
no, that was Chubb.
I'm pretty sure that was fake. That was video. That was video from when Deshaun did go take the guys to wherever they went.
Puerto Rico.
All right.
Yeah, that's not Lake Erie. So
okay. I'm up in Pennsylvania. I get limited access to my Wi-Fi. It's not the greatest in the world.
Yeah. I was just going to say, did Jed Wills have a scope in like June or July on that knee? You're nodding. Didn't something like that? He had to have a follow-up thing done. That's probably what it was. That's making it linger a little bit too. I heard that. I heard that too. So like it had to be cleaned up. Like their scar tissue had to be cleaned up. So
okay.
Pierre Strong.
I heard that. I'm not sure if it's true or not.
Pierre Strong hurt his rib. By the way, I hurt my rib from sitting too long at my job today. So, and that's
same thing. Same injury. Ambulance come pick you up, John. Take you to the hospital.
I'm telling you. I know you said you're 60. What? 67.
No. That only happens. That only happens when John sneezes and farts at the same time. You need to call.
That does happen on occasion, and that is one hell of a mess. Let me tell you.
We don't want to talk about that.
No. So, but Pierre Strong did hurt himself, right? Have we heard any more updates on?
Yeah, he got hurt in practice. I haven't heard anything, but
I heard it was just like he was just doing individual workout or individual drills. Like they weren't against somebody. He must have done something on his, like a piece of I don't know.
That means
it
more.
Was like a tackling dummy. They ran into like a heavy bag, and he had a rib contusion from it. And he had shortness of breath, so as a precaution, they showed. I saw that on what is that? The Daily Grossy. That's what.
Yeah.
That's where I saw that.
Okay. Other than that, the team has been, Amari Cooper was back out there this week, right?
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking? What is it going to look like Saturday? Let's say Deshaun does not play. I think the consensus here is that they're going to leave him. They're not going to have him play. What is the rest of the team, or who else is going to be out there?
I think most of the offensive line is going to play a series from what I heard.
4 out of the 5. Yeah,
4 out of the 5. Yeah. Dante Foreman, who I really enjoyed in the Vikings game, he showed that he can take over until Nick Chubb's back. Very strong runs, very elusive runs.
Yeah.
Caught the ball real well.
It threw me off. He was wearing Kareem Hunt's old number.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Right.
John and I talked that post game.
I was like, oh, that's him. Okay. It's
Hey,
like,
Jerome,
is that
what was
Hunt?
your dad's number?
20.
20. Okay.
I'm a little worried about
strong,
I'm a little worried about the safety position right now.
You are.
I mean, yeah, I really don't want to see Juan Thornhill or Grant Delpit or
Rodney McLeod.
Rodney McLeod in this meaningless game. And right now they're still giving up big pass plays. They did against the Packers. They did against the Vikings. Little worried. And then you got Denzel Ward with his 300th concussion, and Greg Newsome still hurt. I mean,
I'm
that's
really
supposed to be our
worried about.
strength,
I'm
and
worried
now
about
they're
Denzel.
all getting hurt.
I'm really worried about Denzel.
Me too. I am now. I'm officially worried about it.
He was in concussion protocol last year at the same time, and he was cleared for the Bengals game and finally.
Yeah, still though, this is number 5.
Yeah, I know. I've had over a dozen. I've had over a dozen.
Yeah, you've all had. Yeah. Well, I don't. I've had no. Anyway,
I've had one. I've had one, and I did not like it.
No, they're not fun.
No, they are not.
Well, it depends on the nature of it and the severity.
Yeah.
And I think they're being cautious. Yeah, I know. I understand.
Number 5. John, I have crossed over to John's side on Denzel Ward. It's a dark place, but I'm there.
Oh, it's a dark place. What are you talking about? All right. Oh, I had something I was going to ask all of you, and I lost my train of thought.
Oh, there you go. Too old.
Well, while you're thinking of that, Steve, I got a question for you. How much of the big plays do you think is because the defensive line isn't the starting defensive line? Because I know a lot of what the.
That's a great question, but they had this problem last year when they had their number 1 defensive line in. They had a propensity not to contain smaller running backs, and they also had a problem with big plays. And you saw it in the Colts game. You saw it at the end of the Seattle game. Just
when
every
you're that
once in a while.
When you're that aggressive, it happens. Yeah.
I'm hoping Jim Schwartz tunes it up like we said earlier in the season. Last year he threw nothing but fastballs. This year he's going to add a changeup and a curveball. So I want to see what they're going to do. I really hope Myles Garrett plays, Shelby Harris plays, Mo Hurst plays Saturday night. I kind of want to see a few of the starters on the defensive line just to ease my suffering.
Speaking of defensive line, any word on Dalvin Tomlinson?
He's going to be ready week 1.
He will. Okay.
So is the Darius Smith.
And Greg Newsome, any word on him?
I don't know. I've not heard a word about Greg.
I saw him wearing his shades watching the game last.
What's wrong with Newsome? What's wrong with him?
He had that hamstring procedure.
Had that hammy, Greenbrier. Yeah,
that was
right
at the beginning of the camp. It was a while ago. I like this tweet. I'm not going to say who tweeted this. They're watching the Bengals. It said Bengals 4th string looks pretty bad. Zach Taylor should be fired.
Oh, that's right. They're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask. Well,
by the way, the Bengals are 0-2 going into this game, and so are the Steelers are 0-2. So everybody panic in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
Well, I do.
They should. Have they seen their teams?
Moving forward, we are here on the Fanatical Elves. Thank you again. I just want to remind everybody that you are listening to the greatest Browns podcasting unit of all time here. We got some great guys here. I just want to give them shout outs to these guys. So Lou Marconi, many of you know him from a variety of reasons. Lou does the Burning Browns.
I was young and needed the money. Sorry.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
and he's making big bucks now. He
I
writes
thought you looked familiar.
every day. He writes articles for fans first. We appreciate everything that you do, Lou. Everybody loves reading your stuff. Great
I hope so.
stuff.
Thanks.
Steve Gill does his Cleveland Browns Dog Pound South podcast. Writes for Fans First as well. Has his own blog. Has been with me the longest and has put up with me the longest. So thank you, Steve.
Been tough, John.
Sam, Cleveland Sports Talk, writes some articles there. He's a rising superstar in the podcasting world. He wears that hat all the time. He never lets it stays on his head 24/7.
Not 24/7, but close to it.
Jarrell Flint. Jarrell is just, he has apparel stores, dog radio, dog food radio. I always get to screw this up, Jarrell. It's
fine.
It's dog. Tell everybody what it is.
Dog Food Store is the website, and then Dog Food Radio is the podcast episode.
Yep.
And I love Jarrell. Jarrell, you take it. Here's the thing. I want to give a shout out to the old Oracle Speaks, Elliot.
Oh yeah.
I know you're not the Oracle Speaks, Jarrell, but I really appreciate how you did some different graphics and some things for your last show. And I really thought that was cool, and how you dissected and go into the defenses. I think that's just great. And if you're a Browns fan and you like, we have a variety of takes here, and all the shows are really good. Sam does his Browns breakdowns as well. So it's a pleasure to work with these guys. And I hope all of you can tune in more often as the season gets going. We're going to be doing pre-game shows. Lou's going to do a pre-game show Saturday night with Sherry. Mm-hmm. So tune into him and Sherry. I was going to see if Sherry wanted to come on the show tonight, but it's a crowd tonight. So,
might be too much, but yeah, by the way, she enjoys the hat that she won. She's really happy with that.
Jarrell?
And my wife, Jarrell, and my wife's hoodie. She had it when we went to that golf outing for Bougie Sports. My wife was wearing the hoodie with the elf playing the video game.
Nice.
Everybody was asking, where'd you get that? I told them the website. I told them the website. I said, it's that website. I said, yeah, it's from Fanatical Elfz Network. And they thought that is so cool. Yeah, I loved it when I saw it, but I knew she commandeered it. So that happens when you're married.
Yes, Sam, are you listening? There's another good piece of advice.
Yeah. You're going to lose your sweatshirts. You get married, you lose your sweatshirts.
I've already lost one.
Yeah, I didn't know you were married, man.
So let's go around the room. Just final thoughts. I know everybody has some things. Sam, you want to start us off? Anything that you're looking at this week, the game or the Browns and everything that we've been talking about?
Yeah, I have been listening to my radio a little extra to try and gain some knowledge for the Cowboys. Right, I said it in my podcast that I recorded today. I believe we are going to, I think running the ball is going to be very important against them. They seem to be worried about their defensive tackle situation. I think they just picked up a new defensive tackle. I think the only real big player they have right now on the defensive line is Micah Parsons, and we really don't know how he's going to be used because of their new defensive coordinator. And their secondary is very good. Trayvon Diggs, they had the kid who broke the record for most pick sixes in a season.
Oh yeah.
So I think running the ball is going to be very important. And they also are having problems with offensive line right now, tackles and stuff. I think they have a new guy and then a guy they just picked up. So I think Myles Garrett is going to have a really nice day against the Cowboys offensive line. And they also have running back problems too, because they don't really have anyone who's very good. They have Zeke. He'll be okay. I think passing is going to be important on their side and running on ours.
Yeah.
That's right. Pollard went to the Titans.
Oh,
so,
hey,
he did.
Yeah.
Can I just before we continue to go around the room, I did want to mention since you guys, Jarrell and Steve, are both there in Nashville. My wife and I actually watched this new documentary on Netflix about
Steve McNair. Yeah.
And it was very interesting.
Wasn't he murdered? Wasn't that
yes.
Yes.
And the gist of it is that his girlfriend, and there was a lot of other things that were going on. He was married at the time. And I know you guys you're right there. but it was an interesting documentary, and they talked to Jeff Fisher quite a bit in this show, and it was very insightful. I mean, you saw an athlete, like so many athletes that they become rising stars, but they're young and they go through all these things, and it's just an interesting situation. And unfortunately, he was killed. Very sad because, to be honest, I think I told my wife when I was watching the show that, all my thoughts, and I didn't follow the Titans very much and everything, but Steve McNair coming out of Elkhorn State, I always thought he was really cool and liked, I really respected him, thought he was a really great player. You didn't hear a lot about him off the field or anything. He played well, played good. They got a Super Bowl in '99, almost won it. So it was a shock, I think, when it happened in 2000, and he was murdered in 2009. I believe it was 2009.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it was, if you're a football fan and it's a little bit about the crime and everything, but also talking about him as an athlete. So it's a real mix of good and bad, but it's an hour long. It's not very long, but it was very, very interesting. So if you like Netflix, I watch it tonight. You might find some things interesting.
Yeah, there were. I was working at a ESPN affiliate radio station doing baseball back then, and there were rumors before his death that something was amiss. And when I heard about it in, I think it was July of that year.
It was July 4th. Yep.
July 4th. My nephew who came up to Florida, stayed with my wife and I, came down and told me, wow, Steve McNair was just found dead. And I kind of went, not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, final take. Let's see. Jarrell, you want to go next? Anything you want to finish up?
I'll piggyback off of what Sam said. I do think that the AFC North formula, all of that finesse isn't going to get it done. It's going to be defense, number one, and you're going to have good run game. I was watching the 14 Super Bowl when the Pats and the Seahawks were on the 2-yard line, and they didn't run it. They threw it. At some point, you got to just basic common sense. If you're on the 2-yard line, I don't want to see empty formation shotgun. I really don't want to see that. Not with Nick Chubb or Foreman back there. They just stop you running the ball, or you don't have play action. But there's a creative way to do it. So I hope with this new offense, they're not being finesse. Because to me, 5 wide is finesse.
But Jarrell, and that's right. But as I think back, and I'm not versed in this, but what I remember most, probably because I was a pissed off Browns fan, is that there were many times in the past where Stefanski or their play callers would do that along the goal line, and it would drive fans. We'd be in the dog pound or in the seats, just I don't know about you, Lou, when you're at those games, but it would be like, where's Chubb? Why is Hunt on the outside? Like, why are come on, man? Like,
sometimes, not that often, because Chubb was hurt in the second week of the season.
Well, I'm talking not just
last year.
I'm
they
talking
did
about
the
years prior. I'm saying in the 4 years that Stefanski's been coach.
Well, last year they did the direct snap to Kareem Hunt when they got down, and they scored just about every time.
They would.
And the preseason game against Vikings, they gave Foreman 2 shots at it after they got the pass interference. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, do you remember?
What Jarrell is talking about was stupid, because Seattle had Marshawn Lynch as their running back.
Well, yes,
and they tried to pass the ball.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Who's got the TV on right now? I got somebody in the background with a TV on.
Not me.
I can hear
and one more point.
Yes.
All right.
Julian Edelman has a podcast, and he had Ernie Adams on there, who was Bill Belichick's scout person. And the reason the Patriots knew that play was coming was because the Seattle Seahawks tried to run that play earlier in the season. They actually scored on him. Marshawn had a big run against the Cardinals. He got down to the 2, and instead of them handing the ball off to him, the very next play, they threw it, and they scored on it, the same pick play.
Yeah.
The Patriots were practicing that play. Now, in the same podcast, Ernie Adams said that the Chiefs The reason that they had success against the Chiefs when he was there with the Patriots, the Chiefs run a lot of the same plays that you'll see. So if you remember when they beat the Eagles on the Super Bowl, it was that motion and then back out. How did they beat the 49ers? Same play, motion and then run back out. So when you talk about defense, hopefully Schwartz is in there looking at these plays because there's only so much stuff that they can run. At some point, the research is going to come through and be like, oh, that's going to come up.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially in specific situations. Yeah.
Yes.
Which one of you is the guilty party that has the TV? I can hear something.
Not me.
Who is
I don't have a TV.
Which one of you?
It might be coming through on my Wi-Fi. I mean, this is.
Yes.
I'm in the middle of nowhere. So.
Yeah, it's all right.
So do you think, Jarrell, like, I don't know. I mean, we're hoping to find see some things that will look different, right? I mean, that's just.
I guess I'm more concerned with the second half of the season. The first half of the season is definitely important, and they need to, handle their business and don't play with their food. But when, I think the Chiefs game is definitely going to be a litmus test because I fully expect this team to make the playoffs. And obviously, you're probably going to see the Ravens at some point in the playoffs. You might see, the Chiefs at some point in the playoffs. Certain teams that you're going to see. And they need to be clicking at not the Steelers, that's true. And they need to be clicking at the right time. And again, to me, the most important thing is defense because if you go up by 20, you still got to play defense. If you're down 20, you still got to play defense. If it's a close game, it's going to really
defense
rely
wins championships.
Yes.
Lou?
I'm going to say this. The thing that there's a lot of pressure on Watson, that's correct, but he doesn't have to be the hero. He doesn't have to be elite to help this team win. I mean, I think that light bulb moment for him came in that second half in Baltimore because he started taking what the defense gave him. He went 14 for 14. We won the game. It was amazing what he did. And I think that's really what the focus on is that if he understands that you don't have to hit a home run every play. You don't have to, just take what the defense gives you, matriculate down the field. Hank Stram.
Listen to that word, matriculate. By the way, I did a spelling of vocabulary, a word game with Lou I on Monday's show. I don't know if anybody caught that, but I shared that list with my wife, Lou, after we did the show. It was pretty fun. We were trying to go through.
We're trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah.
So I think really there is pressure on him, but the only stat that matters because people are going to pull up fantasy stats and PFF scores and QB ratings on him. W's and L's. That's all I care about. Wins and losses. Win games. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's really what matters.
Steve.
Everybody brings up the Baltimore game. You got to remember, middle of the third quarter, he was 8 for 29 for 86 yards. Think about that. And then he went 14 for 14 in the fourth quarter. The guy is a finisher. He's been a finisher his entire career. So I'm not really worried about him. Only thing I'm worried about is I want to see improvement on the defense. They were number one in a lot of categories, number two in a lot of categories, but they were the worst red zone defense in the NFL. Staggering. Opposing teams scored 72% of the time when they got in the red zone.
Yeah, they got to work on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to look for.
They gave up a lot of passing touchdowns. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to close with this. And if anybody would like to say parting farewell, Cade York was traded to the Washington Redskins.
I told you Cade York would be traded before Huntley.
That's right. So good luck to Cade York, who won us a game in Carolina to beat Baker Mayfield. Thank you very much for doing that, Cade. I know you went through some ups and downs, but yeah.
And it ended the season opener losing streak as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Years. It was a beautiful moment. And I think people really loved Cade York for a split second. I think we were all very excited about him. And then he did that thing at the beginning of the year. But he really fell on hard times, but, found some inspiration in other places and is back. And I'm glad for him. Hopefully he'll make his mark. Speaking of, and I already mentioned this, I think the other night with Lou, but also farewell to Colt McCoy, who I thought played actually in more games for the Browns, but I went back and I looked and his record was just a measly like 6 wins and 11 losses. But he was with the team for 3 seasons, I think, but was injured. So, but he played a lot with Washington and the Redskins. So congrats to his retirement. Colt was a good guy. Did a lot for this Browns team. So, and of course the Squealers tried to Harrison, or that idiot, tried to take him out in that one game, which I'm still pissed about. But congratulations to him. Any final words, guys? Otherwise, we're going to say goodnight to everybody.
Yeah, the Steelers take out good players and take in the bad ones. That's why Russell Wilson's on the team.
Saturday night, folks, tune in. Lou, you're not doing a Friday night show, right? You're doing
Saturday night. Saturday night, 9 o'clock.
Saturday night, 9 o'clock. A bunch of us are going to be back on with Lou. I hear now that Sam's got his Browns breakdowns. Is that ready for me to publish? Sam, is that out there? Okay, I'll get that out here in a little bit. Thank you, Jarrell, for being here.
No,
Go buy his
for
stuff.
having me. Love it.
And he'll be coming out with his latest podcast here shortly. Steve will be doing the
I'll
dog.
see you off Saturday.
Saturday, okay? And then Lou, we'll see you Saturday night.
See you Saturday night.
Guys, see y'all later. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Brownies. Here we go.
Ho.
We got rid of the classical music.